How to convert a window to a new set of PVC French doors. We start by adding the timber as a straight edge. It's just my personal preference also to have the timber to the inner side of the cut line. That way then, when you fix into the wall, those bricks are going to go in the bin. We use the DeWalt cut-off saw coupled with the Milwaukee water tank for the maximum dust suppression. Remove the timber just to get a bit deeper with the 9-inch cut-off saw. It pretty much goes all the way through the brick. It's just a very, very back edge that it doesn't get. And it's handy as well, it's easy to carry. And as you can see, it's a nice straight cut. Obviously you want to do your cutting before you take your window out, so then no dust ends up in the house, which we've done. So we're now ready to take the old window out, ready to maximise that space and let the dog out into the patio area. It's at a bit of an awkward height now, that's why I'm holding the hammer slightly obscure. I can't get the correct angle.
So I'm just cleaning the bricks off now because we're putting them in a pile over there so she can reuse these bricks.
So I'm smashing into the first one because I'm never going to be able to keep that, but then the rest of them now I'm trying to be relatively gentle just to leave the customer with as many bricks as possible, because she uses them as a step underneath the new doors at a later stage. So I'm trying not to damage all the bricks. And then young Callum has a go. He's only 17, he's an apprentice, getting stuck in. Everyone's got to start somewhere, so this is a good opportunity for him to do some learning. Keeping all the good bricks, as I said. Then I get stuck in, claim the glory after Callum's hard work here. And then the inside skin. So it weren't too bad, it came out pretty easy. That big loop hammer made light work. Very satisfying. When the bricks are just popping off like that. It's always awkward because I've got the goggles on and the dust mask. So when you combine the two, these goggles steam up. So it's sometimes hard to which one to prioritise. As soon as you take your goggles off, something typically happens in your eye. You pull your dust mask down, and then you get a cloud of dust coming at you. See, I'm out of breath now. I used to do Ironman triathlons, but I'm semi-retired at the minute. So I'm not as fit as I used to be. And then I stitch drill the inside on this one. It's furnished inside, so I'm stitch drilling it so there's no dust. That way then it's got a nice straight edge for the plasterer. Quite time consuming. You can see how much mess is made. There's still a few bins already. And then I'm using some DPC, which goes across both the outer skin of brickwork and the inner skin. As it goes over the inner skin, it protects the internal window board when we put it down at a later stage. And it also stops all the dust blowing up in the cavity. And it makes it easier to level your packers and your sill. That's just some water seal that I got from Toolstation on the way to the job. I was Googling how to protect the cut edge of brick, and that's what come up. I can't say I know much about it. I Googled it, followed the instructions. If you guys know more about this than me, then drop it in the comments. I'm always up for anyone's advice and how we can all help each other out. But that's what I Googled it, it came up. So yeah. So with silicone sealing along the front edge, underneath the sill. So I always prefer silicone and foam because it sets much harder than sand and cement. Sand and cement doesn't set as hard. And then I'm just putting some DPC in to stop those balls flying all over. And it also just helps protect any damp bridging across. Although we put some cavity closers in after. And then expanding foam, so the sill sets rock hard. seal the sides of the sill so no damp ends up inside. Seal along the sill so no drafts come underneath the doors. And it's time for the French doors. You can see the slots out in the doors. That's where the trickle vents go, which is a regulation now to help the natural airflow. And it's another set of doors. Fits perfectly. And then I'm packing behind the bottom hinge just to take the weight. They're quite wide, these doors. They're about 1800 by 2150. And then I'm fixing through the top hinge and then slightly below the bottom hinge. Through the top hinges, I like to use sleeves fixing because it bites much better. So that's what I'm doing, just knocking the sleeve fixing in. And you'll hear it grip in a minute, how much harder it grips. So the doors aren't going to drop. I've already expanded foam the sides, doing the head now. And then it's got white integral blinds from Morley Glass, the SV system, so it's just got one slider on the opposite side to the handle. So now I'm just saying that the doors need to be level outside when you toe and heel them. So the French doors need to be level. And then I'm just toe and heeling it correctly. Glaze it up. And just washing the sides. Probably should have done that early, to be honest, but it slipped my mind. I normally do it after I've done the cutting, before I take the old window out. But not that it matters. And then I use the block arcing to cover the cut edge of brick. I've seen that's what a few people do. I have done it before myself a few years ago, but so I might start doing this more often. Covers the cut edge of brick nicely. I'm just thinking which way around they go. I think one side's 25mm and one side's 30mm, so it's not a perfect square, so you have to just calculate your angles. And that's another brick out done. I'm just demonstrating how to use the blinds. And don't forget to subscribe, drop us a comment if you've got any advice, questions, future video ideas. They do take a while to edit these YouTube videos, so any subscribes and support is always appreciated.
PVC French doors, anti-snap barrels. We've secret sealed behind the block arcing, so it's all nice and sealed. You can see there's not much of a reveal. Is it really worth cutting all the bricks out? I mean, there's only like 5mm showing by the time you get your block arcing on. All the way up, nice and seamless. A nice straight cut. That was where they drilled through for the cavity wall insulation. As you can see, it's a nice neat finish, looks seamless. There's no patches of mortar anywhere. And that's another brick out done by the M Windows Doors team.